If you're an American in Ukraine right now, it would be wise to leave the country. That's the warning today from President Biden as Russia masses 140,000 troops, tanks, fighter jets, bombers, missile systems, and heavy artillery along Ukraine's border.
I hate to see them get caught in a crossfire if, in fact, they did invade. And there's no need for that. And if I were they, if I had anyone there, I'd say leave.
President Biden delivering the warning after meeting with the chancellor of Germany at the White House. U.S. officials tell NBC News Russia has now assembled 70% of the military forces it needs to launch a full-scale invasion of Ukraine and take over the entire country. It's not just the number of troops that's growing either. Today, the Pentagon warned Vladimir Putin is also ramping up his military capabilities on Ukraine's border.
That means not just infantry or tracked vehicles, but artillery and long-range fires and air and missile defense, as well as special operations. I mean, he has a full suite available to him, and it continues to grow every day, including just over the last 2 days.
New satellite images from this weekend show advanced Russian military deployments in Belarus. The country is a close Russian ally that borders Ukraine and is in close striking distance of Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. This image shows the possible deployment of short-range ballistic missile systems. Russia's also built up its air force in Belarus. This is new video of Russian fighter jets conducting air patrols along the border. Meanwhile, U.S. troops and military vehicles have started arriving in Poland, a NATO ally that shares a border with Ukraine. And the French President Emmanuel Macron playing the role of peace broker today. He traveled to Moscow to meet face-to-face with Vladimir Putin at the Kremlin. No breakthroughs, but Macron did sound optimistic, suggesting some progress had been made. While Macron was at the Kremlin, President Biden issued a new and significant threat to Russia regarding a critical gas pipeline. CNBC senior White House correspondent Kayla Tausche with that part of our top story tonight. Kayla.
Shep, Europe gets about 40% of its energy supply from Russia, and a second undersea pipeline known as Nord Stream 2 would double the amount of gas coming into Germany. But President Biden today said the pipeline will never turn on if President Putin pursues combat in Ukraine.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
As Nord Stream 2 neared completion, the U.S. tried to carve out sanctions on the Russian tankers laying the pipeline in the Baltic Sea, trying to focus the financial pain squarely on Moscow. But the pipeline was built, paid for, and would be staffed by German, Dutch, Austrian, and French companies, posing a political dilemma for the new German chancellor just 2 months into the job, who today at the White House pledged unity with the U.S., but no specific actions to place limits on Russian energy. The U.S. says Putin is beginning to withhold supply himself. Secretary Blinken warning he's weaponizing heat at the height of winter.
When Russia halted gas supplies to Europe over a dispute with Ukraine in 2009, people died from the cold. And when energy supplies fail, economies falter. We're determined to prevent that from happening.
Tonight, Press Secretary Jen Psaki tells me President Biden is waiting to hear from French President Emmanuel Macron and that the U.S. National Security Team is working at all levels to keep the diplomatic door open, and they're taking it day by day.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.